Can you believe now that for over 2 years, I have been going to the Nintendo eShop, digging through every release and finding you 5 hidden gems that you can pick up for under $25 each month. What's going on, everyone? I'm Jay. The channel is Square Pegs. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you guys stick around. I do this video every month. I find you 5 fantastic games that I think are hidden gems on the eShop. I show them to you, and they're always going to be a bargain. Always under $25 a piece. So what do you say? Let's get over to the Switch and take a look. I'm a big fan of games that take a chance and do a remake based on an older property that's kind of gone stagnant in recent years. And one of the best games for that on the Switch is Burger Time Party from Xseed Games and Data East. And there's just so much to love about this $20 game. You play as Peter Pepper, the classic character from the original Burger Time arcade game, but it's a little bit different this time. You're going to have over 100 stages to compete in. You're going to be able to play multiplayer, up to 4 players on one console at the same time playing this game and trying to solve the puzzles of dropping the burgers on the food foes as they try to take you out, and you have to preserve your pepper to make sure that you're able to complete the level and drop food on them to multiply your score. Now, it's pretty straightforward. You can play it straight up and just run through the levels and try to defeat them and not worry about the point totals or anything like that for your star scores. Or you can try to run the score up and get as many stars as possible. It's a really fun game. I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. As someone who's a fan of the original Burger Time, this is a really, really nice modern update and interpretation of the game. And we haven't even talked about the visuals yet. Burger Time Party took a lot of hints from classic 1920s and 1930s cartoons. It feels a little bit like Cuphead in a lot of regards. A lot of the animations are very similar, so I really like this one. If you're a fan of the original Burger Time, it's excellent. If you like couch co-op games, it's even better. Burger Time Party, as I mentioned, is a 1999 game, and it is worth every cent. I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. Developed by Graffiti Games, Double Cross is a really fun platforming adventure game that I didn't really anticipate a whole lot from. I bought this when it was on sale. It's currently on sale right now, actually, for $4 on the Nintendo Switch eShop. It's worth those $4. It's normally $19.99. But what I ended up getting on this was a very creative, physics-based platform puzzler with tons of upgrades for your character of Zara as you run through these different dimensions and these different worlds to find the different unlockables, defeat all the different enemies, and solve the mystery of what's going on in your world. I am just enamored with the smoothness and the fun factor in this game. You only can punch to start things off with, but the way you really kind of make things work is you have a thing called a proton slinger, which allows you to toss this out kind of like a whip, kind of like a bionic commando arm, and swing to different areas, catch projectiles that enemies throw at you and throw them back, and just kind of explore these different levels and make sure that you're going around and finding the fantastically named Upgradium to allow your character to earn different abilities and upgrade your attacks and all your different things like that. You're able to just put together the way you want to play as you run through Double Cross. I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. It's a very creative design on a fairly standard idea, right? Like, it is basically just a 2D platformer, but it does so much with the different design work, whether it's the sound design, whether it's the character and artwork, whether it's the creative physics implementation with the Proton Slinger, whether it's just the really fun attack and combo system that you're able to upgrade. It's a very well-made game. I've gone back to this one a lot. I actually bought this about 6 months ago, and I keep wanting to put it into one of these videos, and I just hadn't done it yet, and this month I'm glad it's in there because I really think this one is something that a lot of people are going to enjoy, especially with it being on sale for $4. Double Cross is a wonderfully exciting game. It's got some fantastic combat and traversal mechanics in it, and I really think if you give this one a shot, you're going to dig it. Now, Mothman 1966 is a game that I have wanted since I first saw it announced on Twitter. As a fan of all things cryptid and weird and strange, this game spoke to me in a way that I didn't anticipate, and I really, truly appreciate Chorus Worldwide sending me a review copy for this game based on me being at a fever pitch for how interesting it looked. Mothman 1966 is a visual novel, and I don't usually go in for visual novels. It's usually not a type of game I like to play, but this one does everything really, really well. This looks like a 1980s EGA game. The gameplay is very, very easy to understand. It's a choose-your-own adventure, for lack of a better term, and the game takes place in November 1966 during the Leonid meteor shower. If you are a fan of classic computer games, this is something that you're going to want to check out, because this is just the first in a series. This is actually something that they're calling Pixel Pulps, which are going to be choose-your-own adventure, pixel-based EGA adventures, where you have multiple characters you're able to pick from, different occurrences you're able to go through. And ideally, these are all going to feature cryptids. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm really hoping so, because starting things out with Mothman 1966 just makes me so excited. I really enjoy this game. I am not going to talk about too much detail here because it is a visual novel, and I don't want to spoil story for you. But rest assured, it is creepy, it is atmospheric, and it is just a deliciously fun game. I'm showing you footage here from the prologue adventure, so ideally, I'm not going to be spoiling too much for you here, but if you enjoy classic pulp novels, if you enjoy visual novels, if you like classic EGA adventures from the 1980s, if you just dig cryptids, Mothman 1966 is only $8.99, and it's going to fulfill a whole lot of things that you love in one dose.
Galacticon.
Galacticon for the Nintendo Switch is one of the types of games that I love. I always say that I love living in the future because we get all these amazing remakes and re-releases or reinterpretations of what something from the 1980s or 1970s should be. This is Flynn's arcade take on what a 1980s arcade cabinet game would be, but done in modern times. It's a little bit Joust, it's a little bit Asteroids, and it's a whole lot of fun. As someone who doesn't like Joust or Asteroids, this takes a lot of the things I don't like about those games and makes them really accessible and really easy to enjoy and really easy to play. I love the digitized voice. I love that it's kind of like Sinistar in that regard, where it's like you get your Ready Player One and Galacticon on the title screen, and it's so charming, like, for lack of a better term. It's just a really, really crazy fun game. It's very smooth. One of the so I said I don't like Asteroids, I don't like Joust. Asteroids is just something that's never really clicked with me. Joust for me is a game I love the concept of, but I hate having to repeatedly jam on that button to make the bird flap. But Galacticon takes care of that by just putting all of your flight controls on the left stick. You move up and down using that. It's super fluid, it's super fast, and that actually kind of adds to the difficulty a little bit because you get moving at such a pace that it can be pretty hard, but it's just a ton of fun. I really enjoy this one. I like that there's kind of a strategy involved too, because as you're playing, you're rescuing different creatures that show up that have been kidnapped by the enemies on that stage, and you have to put them into the escape pods. And it's really neat because there's the red group, there's the blue group, and then there's the brown group. The red and the blue group are enemies, and the brown group is fairly neutral. And you can get points for just kind of shoving them all into one pod, putting all of one color in one pod to make sure that all the different groups stay together. If there's more blue than red in one pod, the blue will kill the red one, but you can put two blues, a brown and a red, and the brown one will join the red one to even it out so no one kills each other. It's a really interesting game. Like, there's a lot of stuff to master on the fly and figure out on the fly here, and it just is just a joy to play. And it's only $4.99. It's a dirt cheap game, and if you're a fan of classic arcade games from the 80s, Galacticon is a game you need to check out, because for one, it's dirt cheap, and it's just a magnificently fun game with tons of replay value and an incredibly, incredibly unforgiving difficulty curve. This is a 1980s game that time forgot. It's hard, it's fantastic, it is Galacticon. Clan OConnell and the Crown of the Stag is a platforming action game that I don't really know what I expected from it, because when I bought it, it was on sale for only a couple of dollars, so I didn't really expect too much from it, but instead what I got is a really deep, almost Trine-like adventure game that is seriously fun and incredibly well designed. You get to play as one of three characters. All of them have different abilities. You're able to swap on the fly to solve puzzles, and each one has a different type of combat that is going to be strong against certain enemies. It's a very cleverly designed game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The levels are big. There's a lot of things that you have to discover and find. There's secrets hidden away in each level that you're going to have to look for to be able to get the 100% to get your bonus fairies at the end of every level. And I'm just really, really kind of enamored with the game. And I haven't gotten to the best part about it yet. I'm going to tell you the best part at the very end, because the price of this game is just shockingly low. Each character will have different skill trees that you're able to level up to build upon your different combos and your different abilities. The art style is gorgeous, and it's actually inspired by manuscript illustration and Bronze Age Celtic designs. As someone of Irish descent, I mean, I am American, but my heritage is Irish, I've always been interested in Celtic myth, and I've always been interested in things that present Celtic culture in a different light. And Clan O'Connell and the Crown of the Stag does that. I'm really, really kind of fascinated with it. And I'm just so happy that it's a fantastic, easy to pick up and play game. Like, if you've ever played a platformer, you're going to be able to fall into this without an issue. Amazing soundtrack, fantastic visuals, creative level designs, fun puzzles to solve. Clan O'Connell and the Crown of the Stag is a true surprise and something I've thoroughly enjoyed. And at $7.49, you can't really go wrong with this one. Take a risk on it, and if you're anything like me, looking at the visuals of it, you'll be intrigued, but you might not be sold on what I'm saying here. Toss it on a wish list. Pick it up for a couple of bucks when it goes on sale, but I truly believe if you pick it up even at full price, Clan O'Connell and the Crown of the Stag will not disappoint. There you have it, my friends. 5 fantastic hidden gems that you can pick up today for under $25. Thank you again to the publishers for providing review codes. For those that did, I truly appreciate it. One of the hints I always try to give on these videos, if these are games that you dig, but you can't afford them right now, make sure you add them to your wish list either on the website, links will be in the description down below, or on the Switch itself in the eShop, and add them to your wish list and you'll get alerted via email if the game goes on sale. Let me know in the comments what your favorite game is that I featured this month, and as always, let me know any hidden gems that you know of that I have not covered in the past. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out the playlist up here right now, showing you all the different eShop hidden gem videos I've done over the last couple of years. Thanks to my patrons you guys are seeing on screen right now, and as always, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.